Hello and welcome back to my update diaries. Last time we went over 1.1 and what will probably average out to be the best pool of levels we're gonna get, so that brings us to 1.2. This update brings us our very first new game mode in addition to nothing. Yeah, the 1.2 update only comes with one new object, that being the ball portal. It's not even like 1.1 where you can spin it into two objects by saying that the blue mirror portal and the orange mirror portal are two different things. Nah, here we just straight up get one object and that's it. Let's get into the levels. This is my update diary for 1.2. Alright, so, this update has 78 entire levels in it. That's exactly triple 1.1's output, which if you remember, already had double 1.0's output. That means you can fit 6 1.0's in 1.2. Anyway, here we get our first insane level with Mind the Gap by Darnock. It's also with the first raid of this update that we get to see a bit of GD history happen, as the very first raid of 1.2 is Demon Park by M2 Call. Now, I'm sure everyone that's even slightly knowledgeable in the old updates could tell you that 1.2 has 6 demons in it, but just in case, I'm going to list them off in chronological order. Demon Park, To the Grave, The Nightmare, The Lightning Road, Extreme Park, and Super Cycles. I've already talked about 3 of these in my Jackson M2 Call creator reviews, so I'll talk about The Lightning Road now. This was the first ever level to use background pulses. If Timeless actually bothered to make proper structuring past the 25% mark, it could have actually looked good. Anyway, time for some notable creators. To the Grave and Extreme Park belong to creators who I'll talk about in here, so that's why I skipped them. We'll start off with who else? Our favorite Darnock. He made 6 levels in this update, 5 of which I won't talk about because they're boring. Even Darnock seems to agree because he named his last 1.2 level just another level. Anyway, To the Grave is pretty interesting. It's probably the best structured level we've seen in the series so far. It's also pretty fun if you learn it first, so good job to Darnock. I like this level. Next up on my list for this update, we have Jax. This update we get the Nightmare, Super Cycles, and Auto Jumping area, which seems to have become a pretty forgotten sequel to Auto Play area, even though I consider it to be just as good. Cody returns with 4 levels, not just named after numbers this time. We do get 2 more numbered levels with 6 Time Machine and 7 Back on Track, but at least we get to have the song name in the title now. The other 2 levels he made are Impossible Game 4 and the iconic level Easy, which I'm sure everyone knows about. Yoxdai returns at the beginning of this update with Confusion. I'm only bringing him up because he had a rate in 1.0, only to disappear in 1.1 and return now. Kinda like how M2 Call did it, now that I think about it. Partition is back with Fortress and Auto to 4000 block, and those are all the creators from previous updates. Let's do some new ones now, like Rabbidical. We get 6 levels from him in this update. Space Travel is one of the best levels in the update, and Extreme Park is a well-made memory demon for way back then. It's only with his other race that when I start to notice a pattern, because, These are all the V2s that were rated in this update. Why are there 3 Cycles V2s and 2 Jumper V2s? And by the way, only Rabbidicals and Neptunes actually feel like they're remaking the main level. The other 4 guys here just made a level using the song and then named it a V2. Which, oh yeah, Neptune. He started in this update and only released Stereo Madness and Back on Track V2, and if you paid attention earlier, you would have noticed that his V2s were the last ones in the update. There are 8 entire rated V2s before Neptune, 7 from 1.2, and for Flappender's Stereo Madness V2 from 1.1. I'm sure everyone watching this has played Neptune's V2, so I'll just move on to the next creator. Spawn started here and made 3 levels, W, Cycles V2, and Because. I'm not a fan of this guy. His levels are the emptiest things in the world, and the gameplay is also not really enjoyable. Because can be one of the most annoying levels in the game. Mask 463 is another recognizable name, 4 levels, 2 of which are part of his Sunrise trilogy. They're fine. Now for a less recognizable name, Supermoon. Yes, the Soft Mountain man started here. Only 2 levels, but one of them is Soft Mountain, so all is well. And the final creator I want to mention is Funny Game. His 3 autos that he made are genuinely some of the best levels of the update. I wouldn't have expected much less from Funny Game, but he really came out swinging. And that's about it. Overall, 1.2 has just barely enough to keep it a decent experience the whole way through. 78 is a lot of levels, and it's not like 1.1 where the good people cover most of it. There are so many unregistered users with 1 or 2 rates, and those guys make up over half of the update. Since most of them are at most 6 stars, it's not the worst thing ever, just more of a test of patience. But there are some really bad levels scattered about in here. MCore 2's The Shutter and Sono 924's The Climax both suck, and are also among the hardest non-demons in the update. Would I recommend beating this update? Only if you're patient and have the skill level necessary. Extreme Park and the 2 non-demons I just mentioned are the hardest levels, so if you can do those and are patient enough to do the other 75, go ahead, there's a lot of good stuff in this update that I think is worth playing. As per usual, I'll leave the list ID for all the levels in the description if you want to try it. That's about it. I'll see you 1.3.